An explosive charge made by Sushant Singh Rajput's family this evening. A few minutes back, the lawyer of the family spoke to the media. He questioned the delay in the CBI investigation. Some explosive charges have been levelled by the family, which wanted a murder charge added to the investigation. In the news conference this evening, the family has said it fears the investigation is being diverted. Sushant Singh Rajput's family lawyer, Vikas Singh, said that Sushant's death was not a suicide but a case of strangulation. He added that the family even spoke to a top AIIMS doctor who said it was 200%. He said 200% strangulation.
This is a case where the family very strongly feels that somehow the pace of investigation by the CBI has suddenly slowed down. And why the family says, I'll tell you very clearly. The CBI team is here for more than a week. They were supposed to meet the AIIMS team. They have not even had a meeting with the AIIMS team to my knowledge. And because of which the decision to convert this case from abetment to suicide, if at all, to murder is not taking place. The doctor who had shared with me, I'm not taking his name because I have not consulted him before taking this press conference, so I don't want to embarrass him. But one of the doctors in the team of AIIMS, I had shared the photograph of Mitu, the sister who had taken the picture of Sushant Singh Rajput immediately upon his death. And he seeing the picture itself, now a senior doctor of AIIMS seeing the picture himself, makes a statement that this is 200% death by strangulation and not, it can't be death of, it can't be a suicidal death at all. Now, if that was the impression given, that 200% can't become 0% in this period of time. So if that meeting happens, then I'm sure a call will be taken. Now, if that call is taken, if there is, I'm not saying that there is a murder, if there is a case for murder, then obviously the investigation, the pace of investigation will be different. The tenor of investigation will be different. People will have to be taken into custody who are there at the home, and they will have to be done custodial interrogation of. And it is only in that custodial interrogation that we expect the truth to come out, because unfortunately, none of the family members was living with Sushant at the time of his death. And because nobody was living with him, obviously we don't know firsthand what happened at that home. Today we are completely helpless because we don't know which direction the whole case is going. We have not there is no press briefing by the CBI. What have they found? What they have not found? If they have not found anything, and it is completely inconceivable that till date they would if they had found nothing, then the other cases will also, the ED case is also likely to fail. So I don't understand. They have to take a stand quickly in this matter.
So you're not happy with the probe of CBI that has been done as on date?
I will not say I am not happy with the probe. I will only say I am not happy with the speed at which the whole case is going. It is the speed which is worrying us. It is the lack of interest or the lack of importance that the case is being given that is worrying us.
The family's fears are not unfounded. In fact, let's go across and talk to Kapil Sankla. Kapil Sankla has been on Republic TV, and we've been talking about the subject in great detail. There are 100 reasons, I can tell you. There are 100 reasons why we feel it's a case of homicide, not a case of suicide. And we've spoken about it, Kapil. Aniket, we've spoken about it. Swapnil, you've been here. We've spoken about it in great detail. Now, when the family comes out, now it's really sad that the family of Sushant Singh Rajput and the entire country has been with them. And they come out and feel that this is not a case of suicide. It is a case of murder. And the chat that he spoke of, Kapil, it's revealing. He says a top AIIMS doctor looked at the pictures, at first glance, felt it was 200% strangulation. Now, if that is the case, why has the meeting not happened? As an advocate, what is your reading of how the case is taking a turn now?
You see, my heart goes out to the family that is there, and you've been fighting it out and making sure that justice is delivered in this matter, and we've had a small role to play talking about the law. But here I would want to say this, and I'm not a very big fan of CBI. On your show, I've also discussed the role of CBI in a number of other matters. But I'm not a very big fan of CBI. But if you've brought a process, if you brought CBI in, you do not start questioning the CBI at the first, perceived delay. because there is delay, and the delay could be because of many reasons. And there is a larger issue involved here about the drugs that are in Bollywood, and how Sushant's life also could have had some kind of encumbrance because of this. So as a lawyer, this is something I would like to advise, that you trust the process, and it is important. There could be delay, and justice is delayed number of times, but it is never denied. And everybody is fighting really, really, really hard for this. And if you start questioning CBI right now, you actually give fodder to the other side. The other side that's been questioning people like you and me, who have been fighting for Sushant Singh after he's no more, and we're still fighting for him and his family. You give fodder to them to again question CBI, and that would be really sad. Because if CBI is taking time, it means that they are trying to build a foolproof case. And yes, there are questions about the doctor saying prima facie looking at the material. And I think I said it also, that prima facie looking at the material and looking at the matters that I've done, it seems to be a case of strangulation. It does not seem to be a case of suicide. But let CBI do its job. Let it come to a conclusion. Let it build a good case, a strong case, a case that cannot be broken and wished away by very strong advocates on the other side as well.
Kapil, there's something else that he said, and it really caught all of us when we were listening to what Vikas Singh said, right? And I'll come to Aniket, and Swapnil, listen to this very carefully. He said, in the next 3 or 4 months, and it came out of nowhere, he said in the next 3 or 4 months, if the government changes in Maharashtra, then there's a question. Now, I don't know why the family felt there was political interference, but they certainly feel that there could be a diversion. Aniket?
Niranjan, CBI is a premier investigating agency of our country. On 19th of August, when Supreme Court handed over this investigation to CBI, Supreme Court said that in order to instill the faith of common man in the investigating process, we are handing over this investigation to CBI. Now, we all know that initially when this case was being handed over by Mumbai police, there was a lot of botched up that happened. The crime scene was not preserved the way it should have been, and there were a lot of other loopholes that were there in that investigation, and that is why this investigation ultimately handed over to CBI. Now, CBI has a great responsibility to discharge. It's a complicated and convoluted case. Yes, suicide seems to be suspect prima facie, and they have to investigate this case in detail, and it's been 36, 37 days. There seems to be some delay, but at the same time, let's not forget that the law does not say that the complainant should be kept in loop as to what the investigating agency is doing, or they should be updated about it. CBI perhaps is holding its cards close to its chest, trying to investigate this matter professionally. We have to, keep faith in this investigating agency, and we hope that in coming days, CBI would come out with something very fruitful, because we know that CBI is not wanting to jump the gun, take a decision in haste, because if there is any arrest, then law requires that investigation must be completed within a stipulated time frame. And without sufficient evidence, they would not, really proceed in that direction.
No, also as an advocate, Swapnil, the family of Sushant Singh Rajput, the family lawyer that is, would not hold or call for a news conference if he did not have evidence of some sort, right? Now, he did speak about the family's fears, but he also spoke, he was a little apprehensive. Now, obviously, he held the news conference because he believes there is something. Now, if there was nothing, there is no reason why he would have held that news conference, Swapnil. And you have been here as part of our team at Republic. You've been analyzing, helping us analyze this entire story and put it into a legal, perspective. Let's talk about all the things that indicated murder, Swapnil, and why it's a case of murder. Swapnil, what are the 10 top things on top of your mind?
All right. Well, the first thing is that within minutes of Sushant's alleged death or by suicide, it was declared as suicide by the Home Minister. It was within some 48 hours, the police also said something to that effect. For 60 days, the inquiry went on ad nauseum, ad infinitum, without any, deliberate answer on that. It never concluded. Initial asking for CBI by Riya Chakraborty, and then a flip-flop to the Mumbai, asking for the Mumbai police, going to the Supreme Court, and parading those arguments was again an indication of that there is something amiss. Then the 4 calls by Abhishek Trimuke to Riya Chakraborty showed some sort of a complicity between the Mumbai police and Riya Chakraborty. Then the Bihar police came into the picture. And then they thought that instead of this slugfest between two states, let's go to the CBI. Then, any instance of Disha Salient at that point in time was completely brushed aside. Bihar SP being completely quarantined. Reporters of Republic TV being brushed aside. Then thereafter, when the Republic investigation started gathering more pace, Anuj and his teammates being arrested, all the way chased from the farmhouse to Chembur, and arrested without any lawyer into the place, which needs to be there as per Article 22 of the Constitution. You need a legal representation. Bail given after 4 or 5 days by the court, and trying to stall that process of bail. ATS officers investigating Republic TV. All these 9-10 things, clearly indicate that there was something afoot, there was something amiss. Post-mortem reports being totally haywire, being conducted in a haste. AIIMS, the 5 Cooper Hospital doctors being sent on some immediate leave thereafter the post-mortem report. So, all those ambulance driver calls, there are ample this. But now coming to the main point, Niranjan, as to why this lawyer is feeling that. Probably he has got some information where he feels that if he does not bring it out before the media, and the media does not take it up seriously, there might be an issue of political interference.
Swapnil, I'll tell you something. I have to take a short break, but I'll tell you something. Aniket, I'll just make a small point, and it's the most important, right?
I just want to add what Swapnil had stated.
Okay, I'll give it 30. I'll give it 10 seconds. Jaldi. I need to take a short break right now.
Injuries seen on the neck of Sushant Singh Rajput prima facie do not make out the case of suicide. Number one. Number two, conduct of Siddharth Tiwari has been very suspicious. He's been giving contrary statements everywhere. Number three, Sushant, there is nothing on record to show that Sushant was suffering depression to the extent that he would take a step like this.
We're going to talk about it.
Immediately prior to the incident,
Aniket, that's what I'm saying. Point number one was enough. Aniket and Kapil and Swapnil, point number one was enough. That's what I'm saying. Drug was an angle. It was a side angle, part of an investigation. It's not the investigation, for God's sake. And that's what even the family is saying, right? You spoke of point number one, which the family feels was a clincher. Swapnil mentioned 10, Kapil can mention 15. We have 100 things that have happened that we have covered in the last over 110 days. For God's sake, the truth is going to come out. We will debate it. In fact, Arnab is picking it up at 9 o'clock when the lawyer of Sushant Singh Rajput joins us live. The family lawyer is joining us live at 9. And at 10 o'clock, we're picking up the full debate. Republic TV's relentless campaign, Justice for Sushant, Justice for Disha, continues. Thank you, Kapil, Aniket and Swapnil. I have to take a short break. Thank you.